Fantastic Four #1. Let's see if Cassidy's actually going to buy it for me. It's a 0.5, but it's a Fantastic Four #1. Comic Con Palooza continues. Today we are going into Zapp Con.
Yep, my first Zapp Con.
Cassidys.
I think it's my first as well.
Not my first. I've been to Zapp Con every year. They've had it. It's only Zapp Comics selling comics inside. They have artists. They have tons of dollar bins, like more dollar bins than any other convention we're going to see. Let's see what we're going to get. Cassidy's going to buy me a Fantastic Four #1.
So funny.
Comic Con Palooza continues. Let's go. So we went to Zapp Con. Yes, Zapp Con. The famous Zapp Con. Zapp Con is very different than any other convention that we attend. It's one vendor. It's Zapp Comics, who's a vendor in New Jersey. They have 2 locations. They have a yearly convention where basically they get rid of some of their overstock. There are a lot of dollar bins. Basically, the entire convention is dollar bins. More dollar bins than you're going to see any place else at a convention. Literally table upon table upon table upon table of dollar bins. So we spent a lot of time looking through the dollar bins, all 3 of us.
And if you were looking,
dos, tres.
And if you were looking for a certain title, you would most likely find it at Zapp Comics, because I saw some titles that I haven't seen anywhere else that we've been so far.
Yeah. A lot of good books in the dollar bins at Zapp Con. Again, we all spent a lot of time looking through dollar bins, and it was packed.
Yeah, it was very crowded. There were times where it was actually really hard to get near the bins because there were so many people.
Which is funny for a one.
Well, yeah. And well, you know what it is? It's not so much a convention as it is like a warehouse sale.
Yes.
You'd see it like another kind of company.
Yeah, but the convention part comes in because not only do they have wall books, they have artists. They have
a lot of artists. And
a lot of artists. So
and
it's just
panels.
They have panels, right? Yeah. So they have a lot of different things that make up a convention, but the majority of the convention is wall books. So you'll see in our hall what we bought wall books. And there's also a giveaway because we bought some books for you guys, so there will be a giveaway. Stay tuned to the end to see how you can be part of our giveaway. Like I said, they also had wall books, and they had one very special wall book in particular. It's our second Fantastic Four #1 in person. This one was a 0.5. It was $4,200, if I remember correctly. Stay tuned.
It was a lot of money.
Stay tuned to the end to see if one of them bought it for me. Let's see if we see anything.
So what I really looked through was the $5 graphic novel bins, and I bought some stuff from the I bought some stuff from the complete set area as well, which was over by the door, not near the dollar bins. And I happened to run into people I already know, people I know from the outside world that work with my wife. Amanda was there with her boyfriend James, who was running one of the panel discussions.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was fun. It's the first time I've ever run into somebody I actually
knew. A non-comic book person.
Right, non-comic book person at a convention.
Not that they're a non-comic person, but a person you know outside of the comic book world.
No, the person I know outside of this world.
We ran into someone outside of the comic book world also.
Mm-hmm.
our next door neighbor.
That's right. Edgar was there, right?
With his daughters for the first. They went to their first convention.
It was actually one of their second conventions.
His daughter Mackenzie's second convention. His daughter Sophia's first convention. So we got to see her first convention.
And Edgar bought what looked like some nice original art.
Yes, he normally does buy original art.
And for a one vendor convention, they had a lot of artists. I mean, they had quite a few rows. How many artists would you say? Probably at least 20.
Tons of.
They had a lot of artists.
There were a lot of artists.
So definitely a lot of types of art, a lot of things you can buy. People were selling t-shirts, art prints, obviously, original artwork. I maybe bought some things because people were also selling pins, keychains, stickers, and we know I like to buy those types of things from artists. So there was definitely a wide range, and I always love to see the different artists. I feel like some of the recent conventions we've been to haven't had.
They've been strictly comic book.
Yeah, they've been strictly comic books, which we love, but I love to see some of the original things that people sell. So for a one vendor convention, they had quite a bit of that, and I really appreciated that. So
let's take a look at Artist Alley. Pay close attention. Friend of the show, Christian Santos, was there again. So let's look at Artist Alley. As Brian said earlier, there were also panels, which is, again, very unique for a one vendor convention, and they had panels in the back. And Brian and the three of us sat in on one panel.
Well, that was run by somebody I know named James. He did something called, it was like an artist challenge, where he would describe a really obscure villain from comic books. The artist then had to draw that villain, and then we basically voted on what was the best rendition of that villain.
No Arm Tiger Man?
Yeah, Armless Tiger Man was one of them. Ruby Thursday, that was a good one. Very weird Marvel villain, Ruby Thursday.
So we have some video from that.
Some footage.
Look at, we normally don't video panels, so this is the first time for Collecting Convention.
I mean, it was really interesting. We loved watching it.
Here's the panel that we saw at Zapp Con.
Dave, we're going to start with you with the reveal. Armless Tiger Man's existential crisis. All right, now we're going to go with Nick. Armless Tiger Man with extra thigh. All right, and then JP. JP going full tiger on that one. All right, if you guys want to check out what Armless Tiger Man looks like, shockingly, no tiger features. He's got teeth. That's it. You all thought he was a tiger. You should have listened. He was a factory worker. All right. If you guys maybe want to risk drawing, you guys could come up and kind of just drop it in the bucket so you can look at the artist in their eyes when you don't want to vote for them. All right.
And it's interesting because we have a panel coming up at a convention soon, and we need ideas. So maybe that was a good idea that we sat in on that.
We're not doing that at our convention.
Not that.
All three of us do art.
We don't do art.
No.
So we have a panel coming up at Super Jersey Comic Expo on April 27th. So if you're in the New Jersey area, make sure you come by, sit in on a panel. It's at 1 o'clock. We are going to be talking about something unique. So not about characters. We're not artists. We're not drawing. But at Zapp Con, one of the unique areas too is for kids. They have a arcade area set up so that you could play arcade games, and I believe it was an additional cost to play arcade games.
I got footage of that, the retro gaming area. Yeah.
So let's look at the retro gaming area. So old games. There you go.
I found it interesting that when they said retro games, those games were from like 2010.
That's retro now. Well, what ours are classic.
Yeah.
See, when you guys were saying retro games, I was like, I didn't see any retro, because I think 80s.
Right, no, they were.
So do
they were,
I.
yeah.
When you
That's
say retro,
vintage gaming,
I
yeah.
think that's old game, Dragon Slayer. So this was not my first time at Zapp Con. I usually actually end up going with Chris, friend of the show, Chris, who actually saw there. We ran into Chris there.
Yep.
We usually go together, but this time Cassidy and Brian was their first time at Zapp Con. So what do you guys think about Zapp Con?
I really liked it because since it is one vendor and it is a comic store, even before going, I felt pretty confident that I buy basically strictly Star Wars. So I was very confident that they would have
And the dollar
Star
bins were in
Wars.
alphabetical order. So
they were in alphabetical order. So very helpful. So I very much liked it because they did have a lot of titles that I haven't seen at other stores, at other conventions. So for Star Wars, I did very good, and you will see that in the hall.
It's more dollar bins than you see at a regular convention. Even if you go to a convention where there's 20 vendors, you're not going to see as many dollar bins as Zapp Con has at their convention. Brian, what do you think?
I liked it. I thought it was a little bit overcrowded at certain points. Not like the floor itself, but just getting near the bins was very, very difficult at times. Unfortunately, it didn't have things I was looking for. There were two titles I'm basically searching for right now, and the dollar bins didn't have them.
So it's not a place where you could really go to if you're looking for something specific. It wasn't a place to go for
No. It's not a good idea to look for specific stuff.
Looking to fill in holes. If you're collecting a bunch of titles, it's perfect for that.
Because right now I'm really looking for the quality or Eagle runs on Judge Dredd, and I'm looking for. I want to finish that Extinction Parade. Max Brook comics, but they didn't have any of
They didn't have a lot of the weirder stuff.
They didn't have
There's a lot of
indie
superhero stuff.
A lot of superhero. A
Yeah.
lot of
Marvel, a
lot
lot of DC.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I did see some Doctor Who. That I haven't seen Doctor Who in any recent places we've
in
gone
dollar
to.
bins. So they had dollar bin Doctor Who.
So and they had quite a few. And I maybe picked up some.
Maybe.
Nice.
Listen, I like the convention just for dollar bins, but if you're going looking
You also
for
have tons of titles you collect.
I do, and I bought. You'll see with the whole. I bought a lot of stuff, but it's not good for that middle stuff. So if you're looking for something $5, $10, $15, $20, it's not good for that. They have great wall books. They had some amazing wall books.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four #1, Fantastic Four #5. They had some really Secret Wars #8. They had some big, huge wall books. Great dollar bins, but in between, not a lot of stuff in between. So if you're looking for some, like I was looking always for some Fantastic Four titles under 100, they didn't have a lot. They had the big ones, and we actually, one of the best things here is we ran into a lot of people that we knew, and also we ran into some people who were fans of the show. We sat and talked to Jack for a little while, right? And then Ed bought some big Fantastic Four books. He bought Fantastic Four 7 and Fantastic Four 8. He had a great day. We ran into
Ian. Saw Ian
from Queen's Comic Party. Ian was there. At one point I was flipping through a bin. I looked across and it was Ian. I was surprised to see him. He took a long trip there. As we said earlier, ran into next door neighbor Edgar. Brian ran into a co-worker of his wife. So it was very nice to see a bunch of different people that we know that we didn't expect to see there. We saw Chris, who's a friend of the show, but he's always there. We're usually together. So very highly recommend Zapp Con. It's once a year. Ben and Corey run a great show.
Yep.
Very welcoming. It's $10 to get in. It gets you into Artist Alley. It gets you basically most of the comics in the dollar bins were not dollar bin comics. You're getting good deals on comic books there. So
good deals. Yeah.
I give it definitely a high recommendation. I've gone every year for the last 5 years. I will be back next year.
And we bought a lot.
There's the badge. They do a cool badge.
Yeah, I was going to say kudos to whoever designed the badge. It looks great.
Yeah. And I love when you get actually badges.
A real badge.
I love,
Yeah,
I
not
don't
the
know
paper-
why. It's a
not
weird
the
thing
paper
for
bracelet.
me.
Yeah.
And as we were at, it's at the
PAL.
PAL.
Wayne PAL.
PAL. And we got a little bit lost going in because it wasn't in the place it was last year. It was in the back and we couldn't figure it out where it was.
It's a nice space, though.
It was a nice space.
It was big.
But again, packed. I mean, packed with
Yeah, it was
people.
packed.
More people there than some of the small conventions we go to, and this is a one-person convention.
Definitely.
So we had a good time. We ran into friends, ran into people we didn't expect, made some new friends, ran into some subscribers. Always love running into you guys. If you see us at a convention, please come over and say hello and remind us to take a picture because we always forget to take pictures.
Always.
We just like chatting with
Yeah.
with fans of the show about comics. We forget to stop and take pictures. I wish I would have got a picture of Ed with his two big buys. That would have been good for the show, but now it's time for everyone's favorite part. It's time for the haul. Stay tuned to the end of the haul because we're going to be doing a giveaway, and we'll see maybe if someone bought me Fantastic Four #1. Let's see. Before we look at a haul, let's look at the wall books that they had at Zapp Con. They had some really great stuff. As you saw earlier, Fantastic Four #1. They had a Fantastic Four #5. They wanted like $14,000 for that one. Maybe we bought a wall book. Let's see. Let's look at the wall books. So we rock, paper, scissors, and Brian won. So he gets to show his Zapp Con haul. Comic Con Palooza continues. Brian, you are up first. Did you buy any comic books?
I bought some comics. I was out there and I got those comics. I did. Oh, you want to see them? Okay, so
we want to see your comics.
Yes. Okay. Let's look at them.
And I will comment as you show your comic books.
Okay. So the first three things I'm going to show you are complete sets. They had boxes of complete sets right near the wall books that we just showed you.
So there was wall books, there was complete sets, and then there were comic books that were more than $1, a very small section.
Yeah.
The majority of Zapp Con is dollar books and wall books.
Yes, dollar books. So the first thing I grabbed, Monolith. It's a 3-issue limited series from Image. It ties into the Spawn universe.
How does it tie into the Spawn's universe?
I haven't the slightest idea because I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Like I said, I just do videos now. I don't read comics anymore.
Brian has no time anymore.
I don't have any
He
time.
makes videos once a week and doesn't have time to read comic books.
Yeah, it's got all this other stuff.
Try editing.
No, thank you. I'm good. Planet of the Apes, another 3-issue set, tying into what I think I think it ties into the late 90s Tim Burton.
The worst Planet of the Apes movie ever made?
We'll probably say that. We had a little discussion about that. It might be the worst Planet of the Apes ever made. Aside
Comment.
I don't know that
Do
I've
you
seen
think
all
it's
of
the
the
worst Planet of the Apes movie ever made? The 1990 Mark Wahlberg, is that the worst Planet of the Apes movie ever made?
I think that's like the only one that I remember.
It's a Tim Burton, it's a Tim Burton one.
It's because it's Tim Burton.
I got to say, visually, design-wise, it's excellent, and Tim Roth's performance is fantastic. The rest of it's kind of weak.
The first movie is one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yes, and this is a 4-issue limited series called The
Autumn Love
Kingdom.
Oh, it's about love in autumn.
Autumn Love, yes. It's The Autumn Kingdom by Cullen Bunn and Christopher Minton. It looks like a horror story, so I'll probably like it. We'll see what it is.
Stay tuned to the end. We have a giveaway for you guys, too.
You buy a lot of Cullen Bunn.
I do, I guess. Yeah, I suppose
Brian,
I
you
do.
like Cullen Bunn. We
guess
should
I do.
probably have him on the show one day.
Maybe. Yeah.
Isn't he a local guy? Is Cullen Bunn local?
I think he's Southern.
Hasn't he been at JHU a couple times, Cullen Bunn?
He might have done book signings.
If anyone knows Cullen Bunn, give him our email. collectorsconfessions@gmail.com. We would love to have him on the show.
He wrote a really good series that was about Southern Gothic folktales.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the name of it now.
He writes a lot of horror stuff, right?
A lot of horror and westerns.
Okay.
Yeah, both of those. Okay, now we get into stuff that was a little more intentional on my part.
These were not in the...
No, these were the $5 graphic novel boxes.
They had a lot of trade paperbacks for $5.
$5
I know.
each.
I wish I looked through them.
I wish I looked through them too. I never looked through trade paperbacks. I probably should, but I don't really read them.
Yeah.
So Brian
More
was
bang for your buck.
Brian was the only one that went through them. Even though he doesn't read comics anymore, he still bought these just because how nice they looked.
Right, exactly. So Alan Moore, big Alan Moore fan. Tomorrow's Stories was an anthology series he had from America's Best. That was an imprint of his from Wildstorm. He stuck with it until Wildstorm was sold to DC.
I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
Right?
Keep
because
going.
He never wanted to work for DC ever again after they screwed him so badly on Watchmen.
Really? They screwed him on Watchmen? I thought he made money off of that.
He made money, but what happened was, do you want to know the story?
What?
They promised him the rights to the characters when the book went out of print. And then they intentionally kept the book in print so that he could never get the rights back to the characters.
But with the characters, so aren't those characters direct copies of the Carlton characters?
They're not direct copies because DC wouldn't let him use the Carlton characters because they didn't want him killing off the Carlton characters. And a lot of characters die in Watchmen.
Yeah, but okay, so let's just, I'm sorry to go off a little bit.
Tangent.
But let's talk about how all of the characters from the Watchmen are now back, and they've been in the DC universe.
Now he can never get them because they brought them back in other forms.
Okay.
So they basically just said you can have these characters, and then they basically made it so that
Dr. Manhattan played a huge part in the storyline a couple of years back.
Exactly. And they did all of that mainly so that they would never lose the characters and they could just keep using them.
All right.
When he was promised in his contract that he would get those characters eventually.
So if he had a contract that said that, how did he not get that?
As long as the book went out of print. So they intentionally kept the book in print.
So the book continuously is in print? I didn't know.
That he would never get the characters back.
That's messed up. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Sorry.
And that's why he, in I think 87 or 88, he said, I'm never working for DC ever again.
Cool.
And DC lost a tremendous opportunity because if you ever read his Superman stories, the stuff he could have done with Superman, the stuff he could have done with Batman would have been amazing. But, you learn
a lot when you shoot the same segment 3 times in a row. Have technical difficulties. Sorry.
Here's another Alan Moore tie-in. It's called Albion. It is from Wildstorm, before they were sold to DC. This was plotted by Alan Moore, but was written by his daughter, Leah, and her husband, John Rappian, who
They write comic books too?
They do. They write comics, they write novels, they are college professors, I believe, both of them. They might be at this point.
Are you making stuff up now?
No, I'm pretty sure that they teach college.
Okay.
They might. It's illustrated by Shane Oakley and George Freeman. This is, they take characters from the golden age of British comics, bring them back in new forms.
Like Tintin?
No, Tintin's from Belgium.
Oh, okay.
Harvey Pekar, American Splendor, published by Vertigo, DC. He had a quick deal that they were reprinting some stories from American Splendor over at Vertigo.
Is he still alive?
No, he died.
Oh.
Yeah, he died. But this is one of his stories. I'm going to check it out when I get a chance.
Was it lung cancer?
It was a form of cancer.
Because he smoked a lot.
He
Right?
didn't smoke.
No, I thought he was a smoker.
No, he didn't smoke.
I know
you're making
I
stuff
know
up.
nothing about. Yeah,
No, he was actually.
I know nothing about.
He was actually
Harvey
kind of a health nut.
Oh, okay.
He was vegetarian and a few things.
He didn't look very healthy.
He got cancer a couple of times in his lifetime. He actually wrote a whole book about it called My Cancer Year, which was
Really?
Yeah, pretty good. Breathtaker. This was a cover purchase, honestly.
It looks really cool.
Even though, I know the writer, Mark Wheatley, I've heard of his name before. I just really, really like the cover, and the artwork inside is really pretty fantastic.
You know nothing about this.
Nothing really about it.
You're not going to read it because you don't have time. So.
Right, I don't have time for it. It does have some nudity, so that's a selling point.
My daughter's here. Please don't show nudity. Thank you.
So yeah, you got that. Yeah.
Still my daughter.
Right.
We don't show nudity.
Oh, and look, this panel right here speaks directly to me. What do I have to do to be left alone? So yeah,
read comics so you can read comics.
Yeah, so I can read comics. So that's my haul. That's everything.
That was quick.
Yeah,
you went through that really fast.
Oh, quick. Yeah.
Now let's look
I feel
at.
like I've had some practice.
Really? Let's look at Cassidys Haul. No idea what she bought.
Okay, I'm gonna start.
Uno, dos, tres, all together on the couch.
I'm gonna start with my non-comic purchases. So I made some small purchases from Artist Alley.
Cassidy likes it. The Artist Alley was really filled with a lot of different artists, but nowhere near as crowded as where the comic books were, which is often something I think about when we go to conventions.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, everyone obviously went to Zapp.
You go to Zapp
for the dollar
comics.
So I do wonder how the artists fare.
But I think it's cool that they have artists there. Like they bring in a lot of local artists.
I really enjoyed, especially one of the artists. I bought something from her. She had some expensive stuff that if I was at a bigger convention, I would have budgeted for it. But at these conventions,
right.
I'm budgeting for the dollar comic books. But anyway, to start off my haul, I bought a Nightmare Before Christmas Sally and Jack heart keychain.
Very cute.
I was debating between this one and a Stitch one that she had, but I decided on Nightmare Before Christmas. So this is made by Spray Blade.
It's hard to.
Yeah, it's hard. It's probably made with resin. And I believe this was one of their stickers.
Cute.
And then I also bought 2 pins from a different artist. So these are Star Wars pins made from Star Wars comic books. Mm-hmm. She also had some pins out of Marvel comic books. I also thought it was really cool. She had some made out of the Disney World maps, which...
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool idea. And the pins were $1 each, so very fair pricing. I felt like I couldn't pass up buying those pins.
You could make these if you bought a pin maker. You have some comics that you could cut
I
up.
am now debating buying a pin maker and making...
Coming soon to Collectors Conventions. Cassidy making pins.
Maybe. But so this is her card, Snips & Co.
We'll
so
put her information in the description if you'd like to contact her.
Definitely a reference to Ahsoka.
Cool.
But on with the comics.
You bought comics, Cassidy.
Yes,
Cassidy's
I did.
biggest haul yet, possibly.
Yeah, I believe this is bigger than last week's.
How much did you pay for all of those?
$0.
$0.
Because my father bought them.
Very nice.
That's my payment for doing the videos.
Cassidy gets paid in comics.
So
Brian gets paid in aggravation. So
yeah.
So first, I actually didn't pick this up. He picked this up and didn't realize that he already had it. So this is Avengers 100.
Cool shiny cover.
Yeah,
Mephisto.
Shiny.
Yeah, Mephisto's on the cover. There's a lot of images of Scarlet Witch. I'm a huge fan of Scarlet Witch, so I might make those into earrings, into something. Maybe a pin I buy a pin maker.
Pins.
Yeah. Look out for Cassidy's pins.
Pin makers are expensive. A nice pin maker is actually pretty expensive. Okay, next, I am a huge fan of Scooby-Doo. And I've been rewatching all of the movies, so when I saw Scooby-Doo comics, this is $149. I just felt like I couldn't pass it up. So it's made by DC.
How long did that series run? 149 issues already?
Probably. I mean, it was more than that because there were a few other issues.
Warner Brothers buys Hanna-Barbera sometime in the mid-90s.
Right.
And then that's when Cartoon Network gets going. And then they've held on to Scooby-Doo for that long.
Because now it's Batman, Scooby-Doo. They do like a team-up thing.
Right,
now.
because Warner Brothers also owns DC.
Interesting.
Yeah, so...
I didn't realize they've been doing Scooby-Doo for that long.
But yeah, I don't have any Scooby-Doo comics yet. Guess I'll be looking out for those. But I love Scooby-Doo, so I just had to grab it.
You showed me at the convention that they had an issue of Scooby Apocalypse. If you ever get a chance to read that, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking of picking up, but then I'm
Very
like, that
strange.
felt like one where I would need all the issues before reading.
Strange, yeah, and it's not what you expect. It's kind of like Afterlife with
children.
Archie. Yeah, it's a little rougher than you'd expect from Scooby-Doo.
Next, we did see some Doctor Who, so I grabbed some of the Doctor Who. I grabbed some of the 10th Doctor, so this is Doctor Who, New Adventures with the 10th Doctor, number 3.
So this is interesting because it's made by Titan Comics, and Titan Comics doesn't make many comic books, but they do Doctor Who. But doesn't Disney own Doctor Who now?
I don't know who exactly owns Doctor Who, because the BBC has always owned it.
But Disney is showing Doctor Who
right
Yeah.
on Disney Channel now.
But they might have maybe they just purchased the rights to show the
Yeah, I
show.
don't know.
Because if they had purchased the rights fully, it would be in Marvel, Doctor Who.
I think they should be in Marvel, because then Doctor Who could cross over with anything at any
Oh,
time.
that would be pretty
Literally,
cool.
Doctor Who could go to any time in comic book history and be part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, next we got Doctor Who number 5 with the
He
10th
could
Doctor.
stop superheroes from becoming superheroes.
Then this is
You could.
10th
anything.
Doctor Adventures Year 2, number 9 with the 10th Doctor. They had some with the other Doctors with 10, 11, 12, 13, but I am partial to the 10th Doctor. They also had some more of the classic Doctors Who comics, but the 10th Doctor is my favorite. Love David Tennant, so I had to pick up some Doctor Who.
Purple Man.
Yeah, I own some Doctor Who comics already, so had to pick those up.
And the Doctor Who weeklies from way back, like in the 70s, they featured some of the best of the British comic scene at all.
And Marvel
Like,
owned them for a while, too. Marvel produced them, too.
Everyone worked for Doctor Who Weekly first, before they did anything else, before they went to 2000 AD, before they went to Warrior. Like, a lot of people did work for Alan Moore,
And
Steve
then
Moore,
Marvel produced
Barry
comic
Windsor
books
Smith.
here.
Yeah.
Tom Baker's
Kevin
Doctor Who.
O'Neill. Like, they all did work for Doctor
But
Who.
yeah, don't usually see Doctor Who
No, we do
at
not.
conventions, so very happy that Zapp had some Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And now, on with the
Star Wars portion of our episode.
So first, I'm going to start off with the only non-dollar comic I bought.
You bought?
You bought,
Oh, okay.
we bought. So it was listed at $10. All of their marked books that were not wall books were 50% off. So this was actually $5.
They were mostly newer books. There wasn't a lot
Yeah,
of
mostly
older
newer
books
books.
in the more expensive
So
comics.
this is, as you can see, an aluminum,
Very nice.
you know, a foil cover.
Very nice.
Ractor.
So this is Ahsoka number 1, and it's a variant
Wow.
cover. I actually don't have any Ahsokas yet, which is very disappointing because she is my favorite Star Wars character. I just often don't see her comics
Me
at
neither.
conventions. So this is Ahsoka number 1, and this is my key number 1. So this is the first appearance of Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, and then the first full appearance of Huang. So
Very nice.
key number 1, Ahsoka.
Key number 1.
Then we got the only IDW Star Wars comic that I got at this convention. So this is Star Wars The High Republic Adventures, Monster of the Temple's Peak. I have some of these other ones, so I'm going to try and get all of them.
Yeah,
So this is number 2.
It's just interesting. I didn't know IDW put out Star Wars comics ever. I thought it went right from Dark Horse to Marvel. So
I actually
don't
have
actually
quite a
know.
few
Especially
IDW.
since it's the same title as the Marvel ones, the High Republic.
Republic, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird that IDW started it and then Marvel continues it. It's
Yeah, there's
strange.
different-
I might be
volumes.
wrong here, but I think there were High Republic comics at Dark Horse too.
Really?
I have to look it up.
That's a weird crossing over.
Yeah. I'd have to look it up.
And
but
the fact that
this
is after Disney bought them too.
Yeah.
So
There's
that's
Yeah.
strange. Okay.
Okay.
maybe it's for different age groups.
Maybe.
Then I got Star Wars High Republic Trial of Shadows. This is
That's
a variant
Marvel, though.
edition, so this is number 2. And this is my key number 2. So
You
this
bought
is
number 2 from that and number 2 from that.
different stories.
okay.
So this is the first cameo appearance of Senator Girastaros, and then the first appearance of Chancellor Lena So. Then on with some of the Marvel Star Wars comics that I got. I've been collecting a bunch of Podamarin, so I got Podamarin number 2. This is my key number 3. So 3 keys in a row. This is the first cameo appearance of Captain Phasma, and then the first appearance of Agent Terex.
So this is not a retelling of the things, the actual stories.
I haven't started reading it yet
Because you would
because
think Captain Phasma would
I
have
don't
appeared
have all the
first
comics
in a retelling of those
yeah,
of the episodes.
I'm assuming that some of the storylines probably, but like, here wait, like so I bought Poe Dameron number 4 as well, so it definitely doesn't fully follow
Right.
because you don't see any Hutts
You're right,
in
okay.
the sequels.
Okay, interesting.
So I am excited. I mean, I have number 1, so I can probably start reading it. I like to read it if I have.
Charles Soule, right? Who does a whole bunch of other comics.
Yeah,
Oh, he wrote Star Wars.
I like
Star
to
Wars
read the
series, too.
comics once I have, sequential order to them. Okay, anyway, on with the Podamarin. So Podamarin number 10, 13, 14, 17, 19, And that's it for my Podameron run at this convention. Then I got Marvel Star Wars number 4. Love this cover, and this is my key number 4. So this is the first cameo appearance of Santa Staros. Then I got Star Wars number 5, and this is key number 5.
5 keys.
Because it's the second cameo appearance of Santa Staros.
That's an interesting key.
I know, I didn't realize that like it was a key, even if it was like
Santa
second
Staros
cameo.
like a big character?
She's important in the storyline.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the comic stories, yeah.
I haven't started reading it yet.
All right.
So. Okay, then I got Star Wars number 7, number 8. Then I got Star Wars number 9, and this is key number 6.
6 keys.
So this is the first appearance of Gracchus the Hutt, and then the first cover appearance of Santa Staros. So she's right here.
Brian's favorite character, Santa Staros.
She looks a lot like a character from Saga, and I'm wondering if they saw the Saga character and were like, oh, I'm going to pull that over to Star Wars since Saga is borrowing from Star Wars anyway. You know?
Everyone borrows from Star Wars.
Okay, and then I also got Marvel Star Wars number 10. So this is my key number 7. So this is the first appearance of Game Master, who is also known as Sergeant Creel. Then I got
Sergeant
Star
Creel.
Wars 12. Star Wars 13. I also really like this cover.
Yeah, that's a good
Cool
one.
cover.
That's a good cover.
Then I got Star Wars number 29, and this is a variant cover. So this was the art was done by Kevin Wada, and he had, this is 8 of 48. And honestly, when I'm buying comic runs, there are some variant covers that I prefer, and I will buy the variant cover over the regular if they have both. But I'm just looking for the numbers, so I actually don't really necessarily look for the variant covers, but I also don't care to have the regular cover.
So you're buying whatever they have.
Yeah, I buy whatever they have. And now, on with the Star Wars Dark Horse.
So you got IDW, you got Marvel, now you got Dark Horse.
Yep. And as I've stated before, a lot of these conventions don't have Star Wars Dark Horse comics. Usually in the dollar bins. Usually they are in the, higher priced bins.
Yeah.
So I had to grab them.
Okay.
So I grabbed.
I don't think I've ever seen them in dollar.
Oh, when I've seen them in dollar bins, it's usually like, here's 1 or 2 Dark Horse comics. It's usually Marvel. But so this is a title that I don't have any of, but they had quite a few, and I just figured I'd start grabbing it because I don't ever see Dark Horse. So this is Star Wars Empire number 8.
And it looks like it focuses on Biggs Darklighter.
Biggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So
who's a character for some reason I had this like thorn in my paw about him when I was a kid, because he's mentioned like a few times. Then we kind of see him in the original cut of Star Wars.
Yep.
You see him in the X-Wing before he dies.
Yeah.
But you never really hear, there's
No.
The scene where he and Luke actually reunite was edited out and then reinserted later in the special editions.
And the funny thing about Biggs is we never see a figure of him from the original line.
Nope.
We never get a figure of Biggs. And
No. You got a figure from everyone.
everyone.
yeah, so it looks like these comics might follow him, and
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
I have to find the
Biggs' story.
first 7 before
Yeah.
I can start reading it. But then I also got Star Wars Empire number 9, number 10. They had a whole bunch of them. Number 11,
And they're all big stories, it looks like.
number 12, 13.
That's a great
14.
Vader image on that.
Yeah.
That is great. See, now it looks like it's getting... No, it's still Biggs. And
15. Then
See,
17.
like, he got a figure.
Yeah.
So this is my key number 8. This is the first appearance of Gen X Sunbur. Got Star Wars Empire number 20. Leia on the cover. 21. That's it for... Gotta find all the rest of
I
those.
know that's going to be something.
Then I got Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi Force Storm number 4. I don't have any of these, but again, Dark Horse, had to pick it up. Then I got Star Wars Jedi Academy Leviathan 2 of 4. I prefer the shorter ones. They just feel easier to find. And
You have to find them all.
I know. I already have one of these, so I'm just going to need one more. So this is 2 of 4. And then I got Jedi Academy 3 of 4. And that's it for my
That's
haul.
your haul.
Very cool.
Cassidys Haul. There's Brian's haul. Cassidys Haul. I guess my haul is up next.
Brian had to run after showing his haul because he couldn't wait to do something. Brian, what are you actually doing?
No. Go back to the hall. I'm reading. See you later. Go back to the hall.
All right, I guess Brian wanted to really read the comics he bought at Zapp Con and couldn't even wait. He cut out on the end of the video. Stay tuned to the end of my haul because we are doing a giveaway and we'll explain to you how to enter the giveaway and what the giveaway actually
It's a bunch
is.
of good books.
We pulled some books for you guys too. So without any further ado, let's look at my haul, which is super huge.
Can't even hold it all.
I bought a whole
And you already
short
pulled
box.
out some
And I pulled
some.
out some already because it was getting too heavy to carry. Let's see what I got. Let's start with DC. Jason, don't tune away. They're still good books. The Secret Society of Supervillains number 10. These are always great for a good monkey cover. Like Brian's Planet of the Apes he bought. This also has a monkey on it. This is a great series. It looks more at supervillains. Picked up some more Warlord to fill in. Warlord number 5.
How many do you need of Warlord?
Quite a few. It went a long time, Warlord. Warlord number 7. Warlord number 14. Warlord 22. This went a lot longer than anyone probably remembers.
I feel like I don't usually see a lot in the dollar
Warlord
bins.
84. Warlord 59. This is key number 1. The first appearance of Gan Denuth. I bought some Teen Titans. Tales of Teen Titans number 51. This is key number 2. The first appearance of President Marlowe. And the first cameo appearance of Azrael. This is a good book for $1. You know, I've been working on JLA, hoping to finish it during Comic Con Palooza, which we're right in the middle of. Only 2 more weeks left after this week, so Comic Con
How many
Palooza
do you
is
need
wrapping
to
up.
finish it?
Not many now, maybe like 5 or 6.
Okay. I think we could do it.
JLA 13. JLA 23. This is key number 3. This is the first appearance of the Justice League from 853rd Century. And the first appearance of Batman 1 Million. It's a Grant Morrison issue. Number 30. Key number 4. The second appearance of Jakeem Thunder. Some Green Lanterns. Green Lantern 210. Green Lantern 216. Yes, maybe I buy too many titles. Green Lantern Corps 219. Green
Yeah, but that
Lantern
means that you
Corps.
can always find something in the dollar bin.
That's right, 222. Grab some 12-cent Jimmy Olsen's in the dollar bin. These covers are always pretty cool. Jimmy Olsen 82. Also some Superboy. Some great covers here as well. Superboy 144. All 12 cent is in the dollar bin. 150. This one, he had too much Lifebuoy soap in his mouth when he said a bad word. Fudge. 154. You get the reference, Cassidy?
Yeah, it's one of
155.
movies I
It's one of
don't
your
like.
favorite movies that I make my children watch every year at Christmas.
sometimes like
159.
5
161. 169. Clark Kent died, but Superboy didn't. How'd that happen? 193
Had a lot of Superboy.
for the dollar every time. 194. 196. And 199. He is joined by the Legion of the Superheroes. Let's keep going with some more DC. Let's see what we got. We're ready for DC right now. I bought a lot of DC at this convention.
Do you think the DC is more than the Marvel that you bought?
Maybe. We'll have to compare the piles. Commandy 44. These are the non-Jack Kirby Commandees. Commandy 47. Commandy 49. If you went to Zapp Con, please comment. How many books did you buy? Commandy 50.
Did you want to say how many books we bought?
Commandy 53. No, I didn't. We're going to reveal that in the last episode of Comic Con Palooza. We're going to reveal how many books we got. We're going to reveal how many miles we traveled. Not how much money we spent. Picked up some Metal Men. Metal Men 47. Never see these in the elements. Rarely ever see these. 49. 51. This one has Eclipso in it. 51. Also a comic series I have never seen before in the bins. Secret 6. Number 2. I guess I'll start collecting this. This is an old Silver Age. It's a 12 center. Brave and the Bold. We pick up every time we see it. Brave and the Bold 124. He's teaming with Sergeant Rock. 187. $196. That's some good books. And now finally some World's Finest. This is the last of the DC books. These were giant size, so they were a little bit more. They were $1, which was expensive at the time, and they're still $1 because I bought them in the dollar bin. $2.54, $2.57, $2.59, $2.62.
Yeah, when going through the bins, they had a lot of DC. And as we've talked about, at a lot of conventions, it's hard to find a lot of DC in the dollar bins.
$2.80. It's always good when you do a haul and the actual starts to come into focus. That's our whole DC run. Now let's look at some DC Marvel books we bought. Some great Marvel books. Still trying to finish Alpha Flight. Found a bunch of them. Alpha Flight 80.
How many more is there a lot?
There's quite a few. 81. This is key number 5. Purple Girl Becomes Persuasion. The Purple Man's daughter, I think. Alpha Flight like 97. Yeah.
Purple.
The Purple Man. 103. 104. A lot of these later issues I never see. 108.
I mean, I always see Alpha Flight
109.
in the dollar bins.
But a lot of the earlier issues. 112. 117. I bought a lot of Alpha Flight. 118. Another series I hope to finish at some point this year. And here's another one. X Factor. X Factor 49. This series was great when it first came out. 51. Key number 6. This is the first appearance of Mole, who is one of the Morlocks. He's a mutant. 54. Key number 7. The first appearance of Crimson. 55. Key number 8. The debut of Peter David writing, and this is a Mike Mignola cover. Can't get much better than that. 58. That's the X Factor. Also bought this Royals number 9 just because look at the cover. It's the X-Men Days of Future Past cover, but turned into Black Bolt.
It's a little trippy to look at.
It is. I hope you guys can actually see what it's doing. I don't know if it's going to pick it up on video, but that's pretty cool. Let's keep going. What a bunch of Marvel too, and a couple of special books at the end. We have to see if Cassidy bought Fantastic Four number 1 for me.
Sure.
Or number 5. Avengers World number 15. This is a homage to Avengers 223, which is one of my favorite covers when Hawkeye is shooting Ant-Man. They did a great job of this. I like how the corner box looks kind of goofy too. Cool cover. Now, real Avengers, Avengers 263, key number 9. This is the return of Jean Grey, right before X Factor.
It's interesting that she returns in Avengers.
It sure is.
And not X-Men.
283. 291. Key number 10, the first appearance of some Kangs. Kang Orphan, Kang Nebula, and the Council of Cross-Time Kangs. There are a lot of Kangs in the Marvel Universe. Avengers 306. Some Master Kung Fu's, which we hardly ever see in the dollar bins.
Yeah, I don't usually
35. I'm going to be looking for number 1 soon. 48. Key number 11. No, I'm going to probably pay more for that. First appearance of Shaka Khan. Not Shaka Khan. He's an ancient ancestor of Shang-Chi. Shaka Khan. Shaka. 122. 123. Shogun Warriors. 16. Submariner Comics. Number 1. This is from the Timely era from the 1940s. No, it's a reprint. Imagine if it was a dollar bin in there. I also bought comics I had never bought before. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. A huge amount of these.
Why haven't you bought them before? Because we've seen them in the dollar bins before.
The 12 cents got me, and there were so many.
They had a bunch, and you were just like
33, 36. These are some great war comics. 40. They must have bought a collection, and the collection had all of these in them. 42.
Did you buy all the ones that they had?
I did. 43.
Sorry to anyone that was at Zapp and
that liked Sergeant Fury. 48. Some great covers. 49. 51. 53. 56. I told you I bought a lot of these. 57. 58. 61. 66, 65. I guess we're a little out of order because that one's a little bit of a risque cover. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Look, it's coming to frame again. That's a lot of Sergeant Fury. And finally, I bought some Fantastic Fours.
What Fantastic Fours
Fantastic Four
are
number
they?
one. No, number 326. Only 325 off of number one. You could have bought me number one. You had $4,000 to spare.
Totally.
377. Key number 12. The first appearance of Huntara, who is the half sister of Reed Richards, and also the first appearance of the fearsome foursome. Not Fantastic Four number one, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. 378, 385, and finally 386. That is my haul.
That's the Marvel haul.
I believe the DC
Yeah, the
haul
DC
is just
haul
a little
is
bit
just
bigger
a
than
little
the
bit
Marvel
bigger,
haul.
which that never happens.
Hasn't happened in a while. So there you go. That's our haul. Cassidys Haul, Brian's haul, who's missing now, and my haul. Definitely go to Zapp Comics Comic Con next year. Zapp Con.
Definitely worth it.
Worth it just because of the people we saw, the panel we went to, the artists we talked to, and all these great books that we bought. It was definitely worth the trip. We will be there again next year. Thank you, Corey and Ben, for running a great show and running a great shop. We really appreciate you guys. Love what you collect.
And collect what you love. So
Oh, wait.
we're gonna give you
Stop.
some.
We have a giveaway.
Giveaway.
That's right. We have a giveaway. I promised you a giveaway, and I almost cut you off. Let's see what we got for the giveaway. We picked up some good books there. I preemptively almost got rid of. Here we go. Here's some books. Green Lantern. A Metal Man for You. Another Metal Man for You. Elf Warrior. We mixed it up. A nice Batman. Night Thrasher. These can be yours. All you have to do is like, comment, and be a subscriber. Blue Beetle, some Fantastic Fours, of course, some Avengers, of course, Bloodshot number 1, a Silver Age Plastic Man, DC Comics Presents, a nice old Justice League, some caps. That's the Serpent Society. I know they're popular right now. Check out our minis on shorts on Serpent Society.
But all of these comics can be yours.
Just for free. All you have to do, some Alpha Flight, is Kitty Pryde and Wolverine and another Avengers. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to us, make sure you're a subscriber. If you're a non-subscriber, you can't win. And comment, that's how you get entered. Your comment really gets you in. Subscription gets you to be a winner. So you can win this whole pile of books. We will mail it to you. You don't have to pay shipping. You don't have to pay anything. This is all for
This
you.
might be bigger than Brian's haul.
I think it is bigger than Brian. You win more than Brian bought. So there you go. That's our Zapp Con this year. Zapp Con. I don't even know what number it is now. If anybody knows, comment what number was Zapp Con. We spent a lot of time there. It was a lot. It's Zapp Con 6. There we go. That's what I said earlier. I've been at all other 5. This is Zapp Con 6. Make sure you guys make it to Zapp Con 7. Also, we have our first panel coming up, April 26th and 27th. We will be at Super Jersey Comic Expo. We will have a table. We will have a panel on the 27th at, I think, 11 o'clock. So please come, sit at our panel, come over and say hello. If you see us at any other conventions, any of the 3 of us, Brian's missing, come and say hello. We love when you guys say hello to us. Remind us to take a picture with you because we like to include the pictures in our videos. Thanks again for watching. We really appreciate you guys. Love what you collect.
Collect what you love.
I got it right this time. See you next time.